Carolyn LaRose is one of the board members of the Jacksonville Zoo Botanical Gardens. The day has finally arrived.
It's finally here. We're so excited. And I can guarantee these manatees are happy. Our animal care team, that was their top priority. So even when they were in the back tank, we had a little donor preview earlier. They didn't let the manatees out. They said they weren't ready. Animal care and animal well-being is #1 priority here at the Jacksonville Zoo. So I can tell you these manatees are very happy.
Even when we were getting set up, we saw them testing the water for multiple things, testing it several times to make certain that everything was just perfect before they came out.
Absolutely. Temperature is so critical for these manatees, and we're so excited to have this habitat opened up to rehab these manatees and get them back in the wild and the natural habitat. Their care is top priority. So we're very
behind you. What do you think?
This just warms my soul. I mean, I'm newer to the Jacksonville board. I've only been on for 2 years, but I'm with you. I'm tearing up. Seeing all these people here, the fact that they're here at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, caring so much about a native species to us in Florida, and seeing their excitement and bringing their kids. I've been waiting for this day to see kids running around here and getting up close with these incredible animals.
Because this represents the very best of what zoos are about, right? Because sometimes zoos get a very bad reputation for captivity and things like that, but this is what the whole zoo experience is supposed to be. It is about conservation, rehabilitation, and exposing the public to animals and creatures that they might not otherwise be exposed to.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't even realize when you buy a ticket to the Jacksonville Zoo, you're a conservationist, because part of that ticket price goes straight into conservation, not just for the efforts we do here for local species, but a few organizations we work with around the world. So all this money today, it's going to these manatees, rehabbing them, getting them back in the wild, keeping it as natural as possible, and that's what zoos and good zoos like the Jacksonville Zoo are really about.
You joined the board, Carolyn, right about the time that they started to break ground here. I know it was 8 years of planning out, and I know the board faced some challenges along the way with funding. Your message to the community about how the community stepped up to do it, but more importantly, how do you ensure that the money that was spent on this project is really all about that conservation mission and it pours back into the community?
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest part of the fundraiser was just the manatee habitat. It was our filtration system, making sure that that water is kept optimal and perfect for these animals. And we've got the crowd behind me is incredible, but most of the money too is also set aside for the care team for these animals, for the food, and all the money, again, like even the ticket prices, everything goes into conservation for these animals and for our zoo. So we can guarantee, everything we do on the board, we're all volunteers. Everything we do is for the betterment of the animals, the habitats here at the zoo, and all of our conservation efforts. So I can say, as a Jacksonville, I'm not a native, but I moved here when I was 5. I've always been kind of involved with the zoo, and they asked me to get on a couple of years ago, and I said yes because I see the efforts the zoo puts in and how they put our money to good use and any donation money back into conservation.
And I do wonder, do you all have a goal over the next year or so to see more membership as a result of this exhibit?
Absolutely. We've definitely, we do all the surveys and everything we can, but from what we're seeing, especially with the younger generations, myself and younger, we want to see native species being helped. We want to help the elephants and the giraffes, of course, but people want to focus on what's in our backyards, and manatees, they need a lot of help. There's so many accidents that happen with them, and this cold spike that we just had that unfortunately took a lot of their lives. A lot of those manatees have been brought into here and other places around the state to help them. So again, we're very focused on helping our native species, and I think this is a great representation. I've never seen anything like this at another zoo.
And so many people who live in this area have never seen a manatee up close. They've heard about them, they've kind of seen maybe the tops of them as they breach the water when they're in their boats, but they may have never seen them up close. And it was funny because when I was doing research for the show, I was looking up some of the facts about manatees, and the questions that people had, do manatees bite? Will they attack my boat? Do manatees kill people?
Absolutely.
I think some of those misconceptions that people have, yes, they can overturn your boat, but they're probably just going to give you a kiss, and you definitely shouldn't touch them. This is going to help that effort to teach people.
And, curiosity, especially from young kids, them getting these interactions where, like you said, they've heard about them, they might, they're Florida natives, but they've never seen them. So getting to see these incredible animals at eye level, up close, it's just going to spark that curiosity and that want to help these animals and conserve them, and raising our kids to be the future conservationists. That's what this is all about, and how they can help. We have a lot of education programs we're working on that how to help in your backyard, people that live along the water, because we are in Jacksonville and we're surrounded by the St. Johns and so many different rivers, and what people can do in their own backyards to help these natural habitats for these animals, we're so excited to help continuing educate the public.
Enjoy the morning.
Yeah,
the
thank
day
you
has
so
finally
much.
come.
We're so excited.
Thank you so much for coming on, Carolyn LaRose, member of the Jacksonville Zoo Botanical Gardens board. We're live at the zoo and about to see the opening with hundreds of people. Kids all ages are here for the grand opening over the next hour, as we will be live for this historic moment at the Jacksonville Zoo Botanical Gardens. WOKV News Time 7:57.